great! Welcome to the newest edition of TNInews with your host, JC. Hey everybody, JC here, and welcome to another TNI Live for Wednesday. And we've got a lot to cover today. Actually had quite a bit of news come out since I last talked to you guys on Monday. So we've got, Monday was kind of slow, but today I do think we have quite a bit to go over. But real quick, before we jump into the news, like always, let's just do a quick roll call, see who is in the house. So Mr. Allmine is in the house. What's up? Zim is in the house. What is up? Boy 3.0, Cryo Boy 3.0, BBC News Music. I don't know, does BBC use that? I don't know, it's just the generic news music from iMovie. Otherwise, yeah, I got to be careful and not use something that's going to get a copyright strike. Everett, what's up? What's up? Judge Dreads, greetings. Greetings. Good to see you, Judge. Collectible fan or fun. What's up? Good to see you. John is in the house. What is up? Turtle Power is in the house. Been a while. What's up? Those Rangers is what I've been asking for and made. The emblem is chest, but the price took me out. So I assume you're talking about those deluxe Power Ranger figures, which are $35. So I mean, for a Super 7, that's not too bad. But we talked about on Monday with the deluxe figures, where they are, kind of stripping out the accessories and offering just pretty basic, ultimate figures at a lesser price. So again, $35 for a Super 7 figures is not too bad. Those are Pulse exclusives. So I guess we can jump in with that since you guys brought it up. So I believe, if I remember correctly, these were shown at now I gotta find it. There's been so much news today. Here we go. So I believe these were shown at San Diego. So you get a gun, you get like two accessories. You get the vintage packaging. They're done with chrome, like they're kind of repainted with chrome. But otherwise, I believe these are essentially the same Ultimate figures we got before. Only, whoops. Only again with less accessories, a little different paint job and different packaging. So again, these are $35. These are being offered as Hasbro Pulse exclusives. So right now, Hasbro Pulse is the only place to get these. But again, we're seeing Super 7 moving into this where they're starting to offer, I guess, to get their price points down, figures with less accessories at a cheaper cost. So I don't know how successful these will be, but I guess time will tell. It'll be interesting to see, the music figure we talked about on Monday was the first one I had seen with that. So it'll be interesting to see how many they do, like how many of these deluxe figures they start offering. Now, while we're on the subject of Power Rangers and Super 7, we also have the Dragon Lord Drakon figure, which is an Ultimate figure that's going up for pre-order today. So this is your typical Super 7 Ultimate figure with all the bells and whistles, multiple heads, hands, weapons. So this one is $55, and this one is going up for pre-order. It's available on Super 7's website, I believe, now. And probably as I'm filming this, I haven't checked, but should probably be up, yes. So you can get it at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth now as well. So for you Power Ranger fans, you got some new stuff to look over today and decide whether you want to pre-order. Of course, from Super7, as Hasbro themselves are not really doing anything with Power Rangers anymore, just licensing it out to other companies like Super7, Playmates Toys, that kind of thing. Something else that we talked about briefly on Monday that I thought, jumping into McFarlane Toys. So we were talking about the new adventure Batman stuff. So this 3-pack that we had seen listings for is being offered as an Amazon exclusive. So this has Poison Ivy, Supergirl, and Livewire. Yeah, $59.99, and it went up for pre-order today. It is an Amazon exclusive and is still available. Should be out in October. So for those of you who are into this line from McFarlane Toys, these are the 6-inch figures. Somebody, I honestly don't remember. I want to say we've gotten Poison Ivy before. I don't remember Supergirl or Livewire, back during the DC Collectible, DC Direct days. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure we had gotten Poison Ivy before, but I'm not sure if the other two are new or if those are reissues. And while we're on the subject of McFarlane Toys, we'd seen an image of this one slip out from somebody who had gotten it overseas. This translucent Solomon Grundy and the Batman, Gold Label Batman, Arkham City 2-pack is also an Amazon exclusive, also available for pre-order, and this one is going to cost you $40. So we've gotten a glimpse of this one already. Solomon Grundy is kind of cool. The Batman, I could definitely do without, but I kind of dig the the translucent plastic Solomon Grundy. So if that's one you're interested in, again, that one is available for pre-order. We've got new Spawn figures going up for pre-order tomorrow. So these will be available places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. We'd seen these announced at San Diego Comic-Con. So these are based on Spawn's appearance in the Call of Duty video game. So right now we just have these images, these preview images. Again, we did see these announced at San Diego Comic-Con during Todd McFarlane's panel. But those pre-orders are coming up tomorrow. And I think that's it for McFarlane News. Turtle Buster Yeppers. I'm hoping those Power Ranger figures end up on sale at Hasbro Pulse. I guess they could. My guess is eventually other e-tailers will end up offering them, but I guess we'll see. Felix, what is up, my friend? Chrome says not feeling the, or not Turtle Buster says not feeling the Chrome. Wish it was normal Rangers. I guess they felt like they had to change them up a little bit so that they weren't the exact same figure. I don't know. Waiting on the Lion-O's light up eyes, but the toy version. I'm curious to see. I was tempted to get the light up Mumra, but I ended up passing. 777 says he passes on all Super 7 Rangers. So the lower price point isn't attracting you to them, huh? I am curious to see what Playmates Toys ends up giving us, especially if they end up doing anything that is remotely collector oriented. To me, Playmates Toys is better at making toys really geared for the younger kids. But when you start getting into more collector friendly stuff, they often don't seem to do that great a job. But we will see what they end up giving us for Turtle or for Power Rangers. Quinn's Comics, greetings. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. Hopefully you are doing well, having a quintastic day. Hope all is well at the comic book shop. Felix says, always like that Supergirl look. Yeah, from the Superman animated series with the white t shirt. Yeah. Yeah, ads run all the time, but all you got to do is just close them out. It's not that big a deal, but they do pay the bills. If you mean the ads that popped up on the image gallery there, they're not usually supposed to pop up in the images, but sometimes they do. Oh, I need McFarlane to release her classic multiverse Christopher Reeve, which we should be getting. Linda Carter, no word on that yet, but that would definitely be nice. You know, Mattel did their Linda Carter Wonder Woman right before they ended up losing the license. Based on listings, we do know Christopher Reeve Superman should be coming to the multiverse line. I suspect we will see that probably around New York Comic Con time. I'm thinking that's when that will get revealed. Uh, they've got that new Christopher Reeve movie, you know, super not super well tying. It's from DC Comics, so it ties into his playing Superman, but it's really more about Christopher Reeve's life story. And after he got injured with the horse accident that crippled him and stuff, paralyzed him. So that should be interesting. But again, the Christopher Reeve DC Multiverse figure, I'm thinking we'll see around New York Comic Con time. Arrow Boy says Playmates didn't do any more Last Ronin figures. I have the one. It's excellent. MCR. I assume you're talking about to Quinn's Comics because no, I do not have a comic book store, but Quinn's Comics is an actual real live comic book store. So um, I always wanted a comic book store, but I never opened my own comic book store. Martin, are they making Marvel Legends Secret Wars figures? That is the rumor. Not officially yet confirmed by Hasbro, but there have been listings for some type of Secret Wars wave coming at the end of the year. Literally, you know, based on the listings I saw, it was supposed to be released in December. So, like the very last thing for this year. Again, I suspect if in fact those end up coming to be, we will get the announcement on those PulseCon. I still have no idea what kind of plans, if any, Hasbro will have for New York Comic Con. In recent years, used to be they would do like an event for just the media during Comic Con time, where they would show off, you know, various products from their various brands. But ever since COVID, they quit doing that. In the last couple of years, they've been there at the Marvel booth showing off their HasLabs, the Ghost Rider one, and then last year the Giant Man one. This year there will be no HasLab. However, I am suspecting, and this is just a guess on my part, but I'm suspecting that that Dragon Man pre-order window will open up around the time that they would have normally done their HasLab. So I'm thinking again, late September, October timeframe. So whether they go to New York Comic Con to show that off to people, whether they just have the same figure they had at San Diego, or they have a more, you know, that was an unpainted prototype, so whether they have the more finished version at San Diego, if they go, you know, I don't know. But as far as the Secret Wars, I think they are coming, but again, not been confirmed by Hasbro, and I'm thinking PulseCon might be when they get announced. You know, it's still unclear to me whether that brown costume Wolverine that they showed off the very last day of San Diego Comic Con, that they just kind of slipped out, put other figures that made us think it was part of a video game line. I'm still wouldn't be 100% surprised if that actually ends up being one of the figures in the Secret War line that they were just kind of teasing to us. So we'll have, you know, a little misdirect maybe with putting those other figures from the video game around it. But we shall see. A Judge Dredd. I mean, just like I said before, when they first announced it, I'm putting it in that $100 range, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but I'm going with right there in the middle at $100. Again, it's just purely a guess on my part, but that's really hasn't changed since I first saw it at San Diego Comic Con. Davey, maybe, but if rumors are to be believed, at the listings that we saw, that looks like is going to be more of a mainline release. But who knows? Anything's possible. Now, speaking of Marvel, I did want to clarify on something because I believe I misspoke the other day when I was talking about this one in regards to tomorrow's pre-order for the Outriders figure. I believe, yeah, I said this was a single pack with an alternate head. It is, in fact, a two pack. For some reason, I thought they said it was a single pack at San Diego, but either I misheard or something else. But there is an alternate head, so you can get these two heads, and then you can get this alternate head. So, but it is a two pack, not a single pack. It is an army builder, obviously, but you get two figures for every one that you buy, not one, which is nice. And then, of course, if you buy more than once, if you want to switch them up, or if you buy multiples of these for your Avengers Infinity War diorama or whatever, then you get the alternate heads to kind of differentiate them a bit. So again, pre-order for these are tomorrow, August 29th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Amazon will have these as well. We got the official images today. The packaging had thrown me off a little bit too, because the packaging looks like something you would see for a single release, but then I remembered that this is the same packaging that they use for the Sentinels, the arcade Sentinels. So there you go. Which, if you pre-ordered that one, has started to ship out to people. So you probably already have that one in hand. If you were able to get that for pre-order, I saw looked like the other day that it was up briefly on Hasbro Pulse again, and I suspect it will be back again at some point for those who missed out. Now, this one's kind of a weird one. So every year, if you subscribe to Marvel Comics Ultimate, digital subscription service for the year, they do a Marvel Legend exclusive figure. They've been doing this for years. It's a membership kit. So this year's kit or for the coming year, I should say, has been revealed. And the Marvel Legend exclusive is Night Spider. So obviously some kind of play on Moon Knight. I am not sure if this is something that's ever appeared in the comics or if it's something they just made up. If it's appeared in the comics, let me know. But I don't recall this unless it was like a Spider-Verse character or something. But Night Spider is this year's unlimited Marvel Unlimited subscription service exclusive. And I got to be honest, this is maybe one of the cooler exclusives that they've done for this for this. So not that it's cool enough for me to subscribe to Marvel Unlimited, but it is still cooler than ones that they've done in years past. So, but if you want this one, again, you do have to sign up for the Marvel Unlimited Plus membership kit or renew your membership um, if you want to get that. Not comic related, but I thought this was I like. I don't know how new this look is for Firestar, but she's joining the new West Coast Avengers, and they put out this new cover from Art Germs. So he does some really nice work, but be interested to see if we got a Marvel Legend, this version of Firestar for Marvel Legends at some point. Vince Comics says, yes, I'm a fully functional comic book store. Fully functional. So uh, I'm going to assume that I've never been to Quinn's Comics. I've seen him advertising his store on his Facebook page. Looks like a nice store. But I'm going to assume, he has toys, he has action figures, he has comics. Jody Graves, do I know if there's any plans to do a Burt Ward Robin? I assume you're talking about for the DC Multiverse line because they've already done Burt Ward Robin for their 6-inch 66 Batman figures. But yes, based on listings, we are getting a DC Multiverse Batmobile, not to be mistaken with the smaller 6-inch scale one that they did for the 66-inch line, but one for the actual DC Multiverse line that will have lights and sounds and is said to come with not only a Batman figure, so we've already gotten the single release of Adam West Batman, but it is also said will come with a Robin figure. Now, so at least with the Batmobile, it looks like we will get a DC Multiverse version of Burt Ward Robin. I've not seen any listings, but just knowing how McFarlane likes to work, I'm going to assume at some point we will then get a single release of the Robin, maybe as either a platinum edition figure or a gold label figure or something like that. But at least definitely it looks well because not 100% confirmed, but those McFarlane listings almost always end up coming to be true. So at the very least, it looks like a Burt Ward Robin figure for the Multiverse line, a 7-inch scale figure, will be released along with the Batmobile itself. Everett says, I hope we get Ultimate Avengers figures based on the Ultimates from the original universe. Given time, I'm sure that is certainly a possibility. Turtle Busters. Heard they might do Marvel versus Capcom 2-packs. I've been saying, yeah, we talked about that rumorless from displaying model behavior on Monday. So if that listing is to be believed, it does look like we are going to be getting some Marvel versus Capcom figures, which would include the Shumagorath figure. Everything else sounded like might be just repaints or slightly retooled figures that we've already gotten. Sean, sorry I'm late. No problem, man. Better late than never, as they say. Judge Dredd's Outriders better. That was not planned. Everett, they're black. They look like monsters. It's since I assume you don't know how they looked in the. I mean, they look just like they did in the movie, but I guess that's probably not much help to you. But they are essentially humanoid with multiple arms, 4 arms. They're all black. They've got like fang type mouths and gold claws. They've got gold markings on them as well. So, they're pretty cool. Um, but yeah, they are humanoid form with like 4 arms and um, big open mouths. Like, somebody watched Aliens when they were designing these guys. It's kind of how it reminds me a little bit. But Davey says it's from the Multiverse 435798. I assume you're talking about the Spider Moon Knight mashup figure. Turtle Power. McFarlane listings haven't been wrong yet. No, they have not. Sometimes maybe they've been misinterpreted a little. The interpretation of the listing has been off a little bit, but as far as the listings themselves, they are very much dead on. Because I mean, it's not like they're essentially sent out by the manufacturer to the distributors and the retailers, um, and the overseas retailers have no issues putting those out early. So those types of lists exist with every toy line, which is usually how the Marvel Legend leaks happen. But Hasbro generally tries to keep those from leaking out more so than like McFarlane does with his listings from the overseas retailers. I want to see the Batman Beyond Batmobile. Looks like I may finally buy one. Yes, I'm definitely interested in seeing that one as well. Again, we'll have supposed to have lights and sounds. I'm glad they're adding lights. The sounds I don't really care that much about, but I'm glad that they're adding lights to some of these Batmobiles, like the Batman, like we saw with the Batman Forever. That's really, if like that Batman Forever one didn't have lights, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. That was really kind of the main selling point for me on that one. I guess the Michael Keaton Batmobile really didn't need lights because it didn't really have anything that lit up on it. So, all right, what other news do we have? We've talked about Super 7, we've talked about McFarlane, we've talked about Marvel Legends. What else do I have for you guys today? I did want to give just a quick update on the GI Joe Classified His Tank. So we are in the final 2 weeks for that one. So here's a little video I did at San Diego. So that wild weasel looks sweet to me. Definitely included. That's definitely going to be included. Sorry, the video bogged down. Video seems to be having some issues. Oh well, technical difficulties. But of course, the Baroness figure is the one stretch goal that is yet to be unlocked. So that is the one that we await for to see if we're going to get that included. I still think it will. I think it's probably going to take might be another last day thing where we get that big boost at the very end. So there's the Cobra Gunner. That is definitely being included. But the Baroness there, that is the one that we are waiting to see if will be included. Wild Weasel definitely will be included. Another look at the Baroness. Alternate heads for the gunner there, along with some missiles. You get the alternate head for Wild Weasel. It's kind of interesting. You get the helmeted head for Baroness and the hair pieces, the alternate hair pieces for Baroness. Assuming it gets unlocked, because again, that's the one we were waiting on. Those Cobra patches will definitely be included, which I know that's something everybody wanted. So we are just under 12, or we're just over 12 days to go. And currently we are sitting at 14,906. So we've gone about 100 in a day. So yesterday around this time we were at 14,804. So again, we've gotten about 100, which, at that pace, we would not reach the goal. But generally, we get these big boosts in the last few days. And that's why I think we will definitely get the Baroness. Even if we don't, I think this thing's pretty sweet. And I will say, I have not yet backed it. I have every plan, intention to, but I have not yet backed it. I often wait till I'm one of those people that wait till the very end to back it. But I definitely do plan on backing this one. Mezco's got a new 112 collective figure from Gary Frank and GF Johns, Junkyard Joe, which I am not familiar with, but I am told is based on a Dark Horse comic book series. So one I've never read, but they are doing this 112 figure. It is being offered as a Mezco exclusive. So it is available. Last time I checked on the Mezco website. Again, I have not heard of this character, but not read any of the comics with him. But he looks like a robot infantryman, basically. So I assume that's why he's called Junkyard, but somebody put him together from parts from a junkyard or something. I don't know. But again, that is available from Mezco, $112. Again, it is a Mezco store exclusive. We've got this is a Kickstarter, which if everything gets I think it's been funded. I want to say, but Big Bad Toy Store, like they always do with a lot of these Kickstarter figures, is offering them McFarlane Toys, Brutal Realm, Lion Lord, which obviously is a play on Lion-O from Thundercats. You see a lot of companies doing this type of thing more and more. So these are 6-inch figures. We talked about the Mondo Poison Ivy 12-inch figure on Monday. It is now available for pre-order on the Mondo website. Savage Crucible figures, Wave 2, are available for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Stores. So these guys are up finally. For you Amazing Yamaguchi fans, we've got a My Hero Academia figure, a new one, One Punch, or I'm sorry, not My Hero Academia, but One Punch Man. I feel like they've done this one before. I don't know if this is a reissue or what, and this has not gone up for pre-order. Oh, something else we talked about here recently. So all these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle NECA figures from that have been showing up at physical stores finally went up online. So many, I don't. So the wrestling set is still available online if you want to add that one to your collection. It is $150 for the 4 turtles. So these are comic book based. Vacation, Rocksteady, and Bebop also still available. That's the Target store exclusive, so that one's $60. To go along with those turtle figures, we've got Leatherhead, Wrestling Leatherhead. So that one is available still. So these have been up since yesterday. Archie Comics Mondo Gecko is available. I'm just going down the line here to see which ones, see if everything's still available. The Mirage Comics Pariah Shredder is still available. And Rat King from Mirage Comics is still available. So everything, these are all available online. Went up yesterday. So if you, and like they look like they're hitting pretty heavily at physical stores as well. So if you don't want to order online and pay shipping, you might want to check and see if it's at your local store. Those red and black ones that we talked about on Monday, those are not yet still available. Those are possibly going to be actual, geek Target Geek Out offerings. So that starts this Friday. Whether it's not going to be with NECA and Turtles, we still don't know what exactly is going up on Friday. But Target Geek Out, as we talked about on Monday, kicks off this coming Friday, 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And again, we're not entirely sure what exactly is going up for pre-order for the first Friday. And that'll run through all of September into early October, the Target Geek Out event. Passion says it's like 200% funded. I assume you're talking about the the Realm figures. There are so many the brutal Realm figures. So I know Dave Vonner has a hand in those because I've seen him promoting them pretty heavily. But there are so many Kickstarters that are popping up that it gets really hard to keep track of everything. Mr. Allmine, yeah, the Crying Hound went up for. You're right. That's available at Walmart. Yes. John, greetings from Ireland. Good to hear from you again. Hope all is well in Ireland. A watcher. The comic book based figures should be available at some point at other retailers. The comic book based ones, like always, will be Target store exclusives. Now, as far as those red and black variant figures, those I believe are all, even though they're comic book based, those I believe are Target exclusives. But but everything else, comic book base wise, should eventually be available at other retailers. It's just Target because they are so beholden to the big box retailers. They want to give them every advantage, unfortunately, over the small retailers, so they make them available there first. Judge Dredd said he ordered the Wolfman and Panther guy for the Brutal Realm line. Nice. Like if you're somebody who like backs all these variant Kickstarters, I wonder, like, do you lose track of, because like I said, there's just so many. I mean, I think it's great that there's so many independent lines that are getting funded that people, seem to really be into. I mean, I really feel like that is kind of the future of this hobby. As people age out from the nostalgia stuff, for action figure collecting to really continue, it's going to take new stuff, not just stuff that people like me grew up on. So I feel like it's kind of a cool thing. But like I say, like often, there's often sometimes seems like maybe a little oversaturation as well. I don't know, but so far those Kickstarters seem to move pretty strong. So thanks for all the news and info. Thank you very much for watching Connected. I have lost track on the animal and dinosaur ones, like Beast of Mosaic and those ones. Yeah. Judge Dredd says, I just order stuff and forget it until I get shipping notices. That happens that's happened more than once to me. What I hate is like you pre-order something and then you forgot you pre-ordered it, and then you go pre-order it from somewhere else, and then you see you have a double pre-order, and then you're like, oh damn, I gotta go cancel one of those pre-orders. I know some people deliberately pre-order from more than one place, and then they just wait and see which place gets it in first, and they cancel their other pre-order. I try not to do that just because I think it's kind of a dick move for the businesses themselves. But um, but sometimes I just do it on accident because I'm like, I forgot that I pre-ordered it from one place, and then saw that it had to pre-order. I already had it pre-ordered. The Watcher, I know you talked about already, but I really hope Hasbro releases the Night Spider figure outside of the box because me personally, I would have bought that one. I will tell you that I cannot think of any of those Marvel Ultimate Series ones that they later reissued. So I feel like if you want that figure, you'll either have to go to the secondary market to pay, and obviously you'll end up paying extra, or you'll have to subscribe, which I can understand if you're not really that much into comics, why the figure itself is probably not enough to motivate you to commit to something like that. So under that circumstance, I probably would say just wait and buy it off the secondary market. Hopefully you can get it somewhat reasonably priced. But I won't say it definitely, but I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of Hasbro having reissued any of those figures that they've released as exclusives through the Marvel Ultimate. Jason says, I have a crazy spreadsheet to mitigate this. If I was better organized, I would do that too, but I'm not that organized. Judge Red says, I prefer third party figures since I'm not really a nostalgia collector. Fantasy is my thing. And I think that's really cool. Again, as I've said many times myself, I am 100% a nostalgia collector. Most of the things, as you can see behind me, are based on things that at one point or another I collected as a kid or as a teenager. Um, so yeah, I am 100% a nostalgia collector. But like I say, people like me, are getting older and older, unfortunately, and there's going to come a time where people like me just age out of the hobby. So, and toy companies themselves, like the big toy companies, they haven't done a great job of creating new lines that have really, and I understand in this day and age where kids themselves are just not that much into toys, they get sidetracked with electronic devices and stuff. So I understand why it's become much more difficult to create something new for toy companies. But that's why I do think like the independent stuff, while again to me personally doesn't have a huge appeal because a there's not the nostalgia, and then b just space. I mean, like I struggle finding space for just the stuff that I collect already. So it is very difficult for me to take on something brand new. But yeah, I think it's definitely cool to see that type of stuff um, find its consumer base that hopefully will grow over time. Hopefully, we'll bring in younger people to the hobby. Hopefully, we'll bring in and allow the hobby to expand. And I think I don't like to call it gatekeepers because I don't think that's accurate, but it is easier for somebody to launch a smaller independent line with the internet where they don't have to rely on Walmart or Target to carry their brands or what have you. So that's another thing that I think is a positive thing that the internet brings to this hobby. The Watcher says it's reverse now. Kids grow up and buy toys and buy collectibles when they're older now and obsess over electronics when they're young. There might be some truth to that. I mean, even today, I always like electronics, though. I mean, I'm not an avid, like, I still prefer my old vintage video games over new console games and stuff. So I'm not like a big video gamer like I was when I was a kid. Um, which I know sounds funny with all the video games behind me. But again, those are all vintage video games um, that I grew up on. So those are just as much nostalgia as the action figures for me. Um, but like I still like electronic devices. I like checking out the newest computers and the newest cell phones and the newest gadgets that come out. I've always been kind of an electronic um, been kind of drawn to electronics and stuff. So I guess the custom cloth cape market will be big for the medieval Spawn figure. Um, yeah, and it's been amazing how there's been a very huge lack of updates on that campaign. Like it's been over a week since I've seen Todd. He hasn't announced any new accessories being added or anything like that. Now, as I said, I think I said on Monday, if that's something you're backing, we know there's like 14 additional accessories. And my feeling is, regardless of where the campaign ends up at, those will all be included at the end of the day. So even though he hasn't really been updating us, I expect at some point he'll come out and say, "Hey, we're throwing in 10 additional accessories with that spawn." Or I feel like a new Spawn animated series would go well for McFarlane. I'm shocked. Well, he's too busy trying to get his movie made. Um, Honestly, I think that's where Todd's primary focus is these days, is trying to get that movie made, which I am not convinced he will ever actually succeed in doing. But we shall see. But that's where his focus is right now. Um, I think that's where all of his resources and time and energy and everything is into trying to get that movie made. All right, I'm trying to think. Do I have anything else to go over today? I think we've covered most of today's news. So, yeah, I think we've gotten pretty much everything today that I wanted to cover. And just looking to make sure there hasn't been any major Transformer or Star Wars news. I saw Sigourney Weaver is joining the cast of Mandalorian and Grogu movie, so that'll be interesting. But not much in the way of Star Wars news in San Diego. In fact, there wasn't a lot of Star Wars news at San Diego, so maybe at PulseCon, which again is coming up. We're basically about what, just over 2 weeks until PulseCon, so we should be getting some news during that event. Hey, Jeremy. No problem being late, though we are getting pretty close to but we are getting pretty close to wrapping up here. So hopefully you'll go back and catch the replay. Is that the green bald Jedi? Who, Sigourney Weaver? I don't know. No, if you're talking about it in the Acolyte series, no, she's gonna, the next Star Wars is kind of making its shift back to the big screen with movies. So the Mandalorian Grogu movie is kind of the next big Star Wars thing. And the most recent cast announcement was Sigourney Weaver's joining the cast, but I don't think they've said what character she will be playing. They're saving it all for yeah, well, some of it for PulseCon. Star Wars Celebration. The next Star Wars Celebration isn't for a while, is it? Off the top of my head, and it's in the next one's in Japan, isn't it? So now you're gonna make me look that up because. Uh, yes, Japan, uh, next April. So hopefully, I mean, obviously PulseCon, but hopefully we'll get more Star Wars news before the next celebration event. Because that isn't until next year in April, and that's in Japan. April 15th through the 20th is the date for the next Star Wars Celebration event. I've only been to 2 Star Wars celebrations. I went to one in LA and I went to one in Florida and Orlando. But Star Wars Celebration, I do not go to. Obviously, it would be interesting to go to Star Wars Celebration Japan, but I watch. Am I going to read the new GI Joe comic in November? Probably not. I really don't read a lot of comics these days. I got to be honest. If you're talking about the Skybound stuff, I mean, I've heard the, plenty of positive things about the Skybound stuff, but every time I look at like any of the preview art, I'm just like, I'm just not digging it very much. So I don't know. But no, I had not planned on just because, like I say, I just don't really read much in the way of comics anymore. I'm still debating like I want to. I'm going to back the HasLab Bradler, which is $300, and then I also that I talked about this the other week about that Star Trek Enterprise from the Wrath of Khan from Tommy. That's like $700. I still probably going to get that as well. So that's like right there. That's like $1,000 in toys, and I'm like, I really want both of those, but then my wallet's like screaming, not $1,000, not $1,000. Regardless, it's good or not. I need Baroness for Joe figure now. You're talking about the Baroness with the Rattler. I still think that'll get unlocked. Or are you talking about a figure based on Baroness from the comics? Like, was she a good guy or something? Did I see that she was like in the new Skybound comic? She's like a part of the GI Joe team or something. Judge says would love to visit Japan, but not for Star Wars. Well, I mean, I would. It would be cool to go for something like Star Wars Celebration, but obviously, if I was going to travel all the way to Japan, I would go to more than just Star Wars Celebrate. Like I would make a whole trip out of it because I've never been to Japan and I heard it's pretty cool. But like I can count on one hand the number of times I've left the country, so it's not a lot. I think my passport is up to date, but I'd have to double check it. Jeremy went to a local Target today, found Cry a Shredder from NECA, and still waiting for Rat King. Hopefully, he's in my. He is available online. If you want to purchase him online, you'll have to pay for shipping. But Rat King, we talked about that just a little bit ago. But the Rat King, all those recent NECA turtle figures that have been showing up at physical Target stores are available online to purchase. So there's always that opportunity. Judge Dredd says, I try not to go over 100 for any toy I enjoy eating at least once a day. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I think that is all I have for you guys today. So Friday, of course, I'll be back with a regular, pre-recorded news video. Hopefully, you guys will check that out. And then Monday, I'll be back with a live stream. Don't forget, Target Geek Out this Friday kicks off this Friday. We'll have to wait and see what product, what company, and what products will be dropping for that. But mark your calendar for that. Tomorrow, the Marvel Legend Outrider pre-order, the Spawn Call of Duty figure pre-orders. Those are all tomorrow. And yeah, that's that's pretty much it. And then, like I say, we're just a couple weeks out from PulseCon, so that will be coming up very soon. So mark your calendars. It's been kind of a slow month for August, but that's to be expected after Comic-Con. But I expect things will start to pick back up, next month, September, which is also my birthday, September 23rd. I will be turning the big 5-2, so I have that to look forward to as well. But as always, guys, thank you for checking out my videos, listening to me ramble. It's always great hearing from you guys, answering your questions. So until next time, though, I will catch you later. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to ToyNewsEye.com, MarvelousNews.com, JediInsider.com, and TFormers.com. And remember, action figures are great,